All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, it is that time of the week, folks, my weekly picks in the world of college football. And this is the biggie as conference championship weekend is here. I want to start off tomorrow night with the Conference USA championship game as you're going to have Western Kentucky clashing with UTSA. Now, you look at Western Kentucky in regards to what they bring to the table. Quarterback Bailey Zappi and wide receivers Michael Tinsley and Jared Stern could have a big impact on this game. 19 team interceptions have been forced by this Hilltoppers defense, and that's going to be important as they look to slow down quarterback Frank Harris. But I think the key for UTSA, they have to get back to playing solid defense and, more importantly, running back Sincere McCormick. I think this will be a good game, but I'm going to take UTSA at home by the score of 34-28. Now, in Vegas, you're going to have the 10th ranked Oregon Ducks clashing with the 17th ranked Utes of Utah. Now, both teams are looking for a trip to the Rose Bowl, but the Ducks are looking for revenge because it was just a few weeks ago at Rice Eccles Stadium where the Utes ran the Ducks off the field. Now, I think this Ducks defense, they have to attack the line of scrimmage a little bit more. And that's going to be important, especially with this, with what Oregon has in their front seven, but also the running ability of Travis Dye to keep the Utah offense off the field, that's going to be important as well. But you look at what Utah has. Cameron Rising has been solid at quarterback. Tavian Thomas has been solid at running back as well. And then you have Devin Lloyd, who can rush the passer, as well as the fact that this Utes defense has 38 sacks this season. Now, conventional wisdom would say take Utah. And being that, the Utes dominated Oregon, and on top of that, it really wasn't that long ago. So it's going to be tough for the Ducks to make a lot of adjustments. But from what I've seen in recent years, the Utes always tend to come up short in these games while the Ducks simply rise to the occasion. And because of that, I'm going to take Oregon in Vegas by the score of 30-20. Now, moving on to Saturday, you're going to have the Big 12 title game. You're going to have the ninth ranked Baylor Bears clashing with the fifth ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. The availability of quarterback Jerry Bohannon is going to be important in this contest for Baylor because when these two teams met earlier in the season, it was Oklahoma State that got the best of the Bears. Running back Abram Smith is going to have a big time impact for the Bears. And that's important because you're looking at this Oklahoma State defense led by linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez. They can get after you. And if they put this Baylor offense in third and long situations, second and long situations, you're dealing with a front seven that has 48 team sacks this year. This Baylor defense also has to deal with running back Jalen Warren. And if they allow him to get going, they could be in for a long afternoon. Oklahoma State is looking to flex their muscles as a team to beat in the Big 12. And I think they get it done Saturday. And I'm going to take the Cowboys by the score of 38-20. Now, in Detroit, at the Mid American Conference Championship game, you're going to have Kent State clashing with Northern Illinois. Quarterback Dustin Crum, what can he do for Kent State in this game? Plenty of talent on offense for Kent State with running back Marquez Cooper and wide receiver Dante Cephas. But on the flip side, I look at quarterback Rocky Lombardi for Northern Illinois as well as running back Jay Ducker. Um, if you look at this game, two of the worst defenses in the nation. Points are going to be basically the scoreboard operator is going to be busy in this contest. But I'm going to take Kent State in this one by the score of 44-38. Now, moving our attention to the Mountain West Championship games, you're going to have the Utah State Aggies traveling to take on the 19th ranked Aztecs of San Diego State. For quarterback Logan Bonner, what can he do against a San Diego State defense that is ranked 11th in the nation? You also have wide receiver Devin Tompkins, who could have a big impact in this game for Utah State. But I look at this Aztecs defense: 36 team sacks, 15 interceptions. This defense has brought this team to this point. Brady Hoke, the head coach of San Diego State, is the Mountain West Coach of the Year, and I think he gets it done with his club. And I'm going to take San Diego State by the score of 29-23. Now, in the Sun Belt Championship game, you're going to have Appalachian State going at it with the 24th ranked Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Quarterback Chase Bryce for Appalachian State. He can be an X factor for this game, as well as running back Nate Noel. But I also look at this Appalachian State defense led by linebacker DeMarco Jackson and the fact that they have 15 team interceptions this year. Quarterback Levi Lewis. he can have a solid impact in this game for Louisiana, as well as the fact that Louisiana has a defense that has 35 team sacks. Will Billy Napier taking the Florida job be a distraction to this team? I know they want to finish strong for him. I think it will be. And because of that, I'm going to take Appalachian State in the upset by the score of 31-27. Now, the big one that everybody's talking about, you have the top ranked Georgia Bulldogs clashing with the third ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. And for my money, I know the great Keith Jackson always referred to the Rose Bowl as the granddaddy of them all. This to me is the granddaddy of all conference title games. Georgia, in my mind, has done enough to make the college football playoff. They're unblemished heading into this weekend, but Bama must win this game, and they have to be desperate. Now, the dogs, of course, sport the top ranked defense in the nation, as no team has scored more than 20 points or even gotten to 20 points this season against Georgia. Now, we know about Georgia's defense, but also Stetson Bennett has been solid at quarterback, but this might be the best defense that he's faced all season long, along with running back Zamir White. 41 team sacks and 12 interceptions by this Georgia defense. And will they be able to put the pressure on Alabama quarterback Bryce Young? He's been a calm, um, customer in that pocket all season long for Nick Saban, and this is going to be the best front that he has seen all year long. Now, the Tide have been shaky in their last three SEC games. They won them all, of course: Arkansas, LSU, and then Auburn. The health of running back Brian Robinson, we saw him deal with injuries in the comeback win against Auburn, and I think that's going to be big in this one as well. Wide receivers Jameson Williams as well as John Mechie III, they're going to put pressure on this Georgia secondary that they have not had to deal with all season long. But then this defense is probably going to be the best defense that Georgia has faced since the Clemson game, with linebackers Henry To'oTo'o and, of course, Will Anderson. 43 team sacks by Alabama, 13 team interceptions, so they can bring it as well. When you think about Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship game, they have had some memorable meetings in the past in this building. Of course, once in the SEC championship game, and then, of course, in the national championship game. I think Georgia tastes defeat for the first time this year, and I'm going to take Alabama by the score of 23-19. Now, in the American Athletic Conference championship game, you're going to have the fourth-ranked Bearcats of Cincinnati hosting the 24th ranked Houston Cougars, as Cincinnati is looking to continue living the dream. They're ranked number 4, and they feel that if they win this game, they will be college football playoff bound. Now, Houston is looking to pull off the upset, and they have a great team that's coming into Cincinnati at Nippert Stadium for this game. Quarterback Clayton Tune has been solid, as has running back Alton McCaskill and wide receiver Nathaniel Dell. Houston also sports the sixth ranked defense in the nation, as they have 41 team sacks along with 14 interceptions. But on the flip side for Cincinnati, Desmond Ritter, the super senior, he's been there. He's seen so many his fair share of battles in the AAC. Running back Jerome Ford is looking to cap off a solid season. And this Bearcats defense, they're ranked eighth. And you look at linebacker Joey DeBlanco, he can bring it, while this team as a whole has 17 interceptions. Cincinnati's battle tested, so is Houston. I think this is going to be a back and forth affair. But at the end, I'm going to take Cincinnati at home by the score of 30-28. Now, in the Big Ten championship game on Saturday night in Indianapolis, you're going to have the second-ranked Michigan Wolverines making their first appearance in the Big Ten title game, clashing with the 13th-ranked Hawkeyes of Iowa. And for Michigan, they have to keep the momentum going after their big upset win over Ohio State last week, as they look to make the college football playoff. Cade McNamara, he's solid at quarterback, but for Michigan on offense, it comes down to the rushing attack with Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. Defensively for the Wolverines, they have the 15th ranked defense in the nation, and Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabu might be the best group of tandem pass rushers right now in the nation. Now, conventional wisdom says go with Michigan, but Iowa is not going to be a pushover, as the Hawkeyes are a very good and very coached team under Kurt Ferentz. You think about Iowa, you think about their running game with Tyler Goodson. Also, the Hawkeyes have the 14th best defense in the nation, and they have some studs at linebacker in Jack Campbell and Seth Benson, while they also have 22 team interceptions. This is going to be old school Hayden Fry, Bo Schembechler, Big Ten paint swapping football in this one. It's just going to be very physical, line of scrimmage. It's going to be also field position, turnovers, and which team is going to blink first in this game. I think Michigan squeaks it out by the score of 23-20. And finally, in Charlotte on Saturday night, you're going to have the 15th ranked Pitt Panthers clashing with the 16th ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And of course, this is the first time in a long time, no Clemson, no Florida State, no Virginia Tech in the ACC championship game. The winner right here is probably going to get a berth in either the Peach Bowl or the Sugar Bowl here. Quarterback Kenny Pickett, probably going to be the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft next spring. And he's had a hell of a season for Pitt. You look at what wide receiver Jordan Addison can do, and then this Pitt defense that has 46 team sacks along with 11 interceptions this year. Quarterback Sam Hartman for Wake Forest is no slouch either, as the same can be said about wide receivers A.T. Perry and Ja'Cory Robertson. 13 interceptions for this Wake Forest defense, but the problem has been for the Demon Deacons, and we saw that coming down the stretch in the regular season is their defense. Wake Forest is ranked 110th in the nation in total defense. And I mean, I can't pick a team that we saw give up 48 points to Clemson and then also a 50 plus game to North Carolina. And because of that, I'm going to take Pitt to win the ACC by the score of 44-30. So, folks, those are my picks for conference championship weekend. And as always, I want to take the time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.